Shirley Pennybaker. I'm the founder of Camp Academia and the author of Brain Jogging, which you are about to meet. Brain Jogging is a cognitive processing enhancement program that has enabled students to learn. I see every day where parents come in and they want to blame the teacher because the teacher is not teaching their children. It is not that the teacher is not teaching. You and I both know that. It is the fact that you can teach to a child that some days you cannot reach. You can teach and teach and teach, and it makes no difference whatsoever. That is why we have brain jogging. It is not necessarily for the child who has the capacity to learn. It is for the child that you cannot teach. He has been exposed to the exact same information, the exact same wonderful teaching methods that every other child in your classroom has had employed. However, when it comes to this child, some can say, well, you know, it's the home life. It's because he's never been read to. It's because he's poor. It's because he didn't sleep last night. It's for whatever reason. Today we know that many of these students have learning disabilities. They may be visual learners. They may be auditory learners. I see that teachers are reading tests to children now in hopes of getting them to answer those questions correctly. I see that we are saying they have different learning styles. The bottom line is the kids must learn the information, and you have done everything you can do in your power to teach them information, and for some reason they still didn't get it. That's the child that you want to give brain jogging. It's the first time. You know, I used to think that if we could just open up their head and pour it in and sew it back up, wouldn't that be wonderful? Well, guess what? Brain jogging is just shy of that. You will be amazed in a very short period of time how rapidly that children will learn. Brain jogging is based on scientific research. It is based on molecular biology. It is based on learning the parts of the brain, studying the parts of the brain, and understanding that if we have a child that is not having a part of their brain that is activated during the learning process, then those are the children that you cannot teach. You know those kids. You've done everything in your power to help them. Nothing worked. I understand that today you're going to have the opportunity to select 50 children at your school that you believe fall into this category. That you're concerned that they may or may not pass a standardized test that you're about to administer. Brain jogging is there to help you, and it will. What we know is that if a child is having reading problems, specific reading problems, such as they cannot remember how to spell the word come spelling test time, brain jogging will help. The words for that particular spelling test should be inserted into the database. You will have a teacher on site that will be teaching you how to instruct your children to put the data into the program. This needs to be an interactive activity. So, for example, if you have 2 or 3 computers in your classroom, then you will say, Johnny, Mary, and Susie, I would like for you to go to the computer. I will let you put the words in the database. They will see it as a treat. I would recommend that you let each child go in and do the spelling words, but you're targeting the ones who really need it. This is IRT at its best, because this way you are being able to show that you are having a response to the intervention. You are having an opportunity. You have that program in the classroom, and it may say, you and I know that it's for these specific children. However, it's great because we can let all the children use it. We're only targeting those specific children. So if you have, for example, oftentimes I will put the formulas for area or for circumference, whatever the formulas are in math that they need to know, we put it in the program. And then throughout the day, we know that these children need to go to the program and utilize it 5 to 7 minutes. If you know that you have children that don't need it, that they're your top students, they may be the students that you allow to go to the computers and put the new database in. Be sure that you always check that information. We know the value of eye movement. That when studies have been conducted with high school and college students whereby eye movement was utilized with the word base, the word bank, those children or adults held on to the information for longer periods of time, and they kept it. We're going to have a headset that the children will wear. If you don't have a headset for every child, it's amazing what cupping the hand will do. If you cup it, I mean, it's like, do it right now and say hello. And you will hear hello. You hear it just like the students will hear it. So if you have a headset, great, use it. If you don't have a headset, be sure that they cup their hand. What we know from research is they must say it, they must see it, they must hear it simultaneously while moving their eyes. Therefore, brain jogging is going to provide that stimulus for you. In a few minutes, you're going to be taught how to use the brain jogging program. You're going to see that these students that you can't teach, today you'll be able to. We found that children who in the past couldn't remember their spelling words made hundreds after 1 week on brain jogging. You are doing away with problems learning, problems with attention. There is an activity on brain jogging, and it's called letter flash. And we know through the scientific data that when these children have increased their processing speed, that their memory improves. When they're able to increase that processing speed by utilizing our letter flash portion of the brain jogging program, that there are 7 parts of the brain that will come together coherently. This is what you've needed all along. It doesn't matter how rich a child is, how poor he is, whether he's on free or reduced lunch. It doesn't matter what his mama did last night or what he did last night. What we know is you can think about teaching a child to swim. Nobody cares about anything other than teaching that child the strokes, teaching that child to breathe properly. That is the exact same thing we are doing with brain jogging. We are mimicking the proper utilization of the brain as the control center when the child begins to read. He must move his eyes from left to right. He must hold his head still. He must say it out loud while he's moving his eyes from left to right. He must remember what he saw after it's gone and look ahead to know what's coming. Working memory. That is what brain jogging is about. It is about teaching the brain to do the task that is required for reading. Just as you're teaching a child to swim, as he's swimming, it's the exact same